Hey everyone, today we are diving deep into a really fundamental idea in AI. We're going to talk about how we tame the wild, kind of chaotic nature of data to build neural networks that are not just faster and smarter, but also way more stable. So let's jump right in. So, what is the secret, right? How do you take this incredibly complex model and make sure it actually learns efficiently without just, getting lost? It's a huge challenge for sure. But the answer, and this might surprise you, it doesn't start with some super fancy new algorithm. Nope, it starts with the data itself. And just take a look at the difference here. I mean, it's night and day. On the left, you've got your raw data. It is a total mess, right? You might have features on completely different scales, like someone's age going from 0 to 100, and their income going from 0 to, 100,000. It's skewed, it's messy, and for a network, it's really hard to make sense of. But then look at the right. After normalization, everything is brought onto this nice common scale. It's orderly, it's balanced, and it's ready to learn. Okay, so this brings us to our first big idea, really understanding why data needs this taming in the first place. This is the crucial first step. You've got to wrangle your data before you even think about training. At its heart, data normalization is actually a pretty simple idea. It's just this process of rescaling all your numbers so that no single feature can kind of bully the learning process just because its values happen to be bigger. It creates a level playing field for all your data. Simple as that. And there are two really common ways to get this done. You've got min-max, which basically squishes everything into a neat little range, like 0 to 1. Or you can use z-score, which recenters all the data around 0. Both of these are fantastic first steps for cleaning up the data that you're about to feed into your network. Okay, so problem solved, right? Well, not so fast. Here's the twist. Taming the data at the front door is absolutely essential, but it doesn't solve a much more subtle, much trickier problem that's happening deep inside the network itself. Yeah, there's this deeper, hidden instability that can honestly bring even the most powerful networks to a grinding halt. This problem has a fancy name, internal covariate shift. But think about it like this. As a network learns, the weights in the earlier layers are always changing, right? That means the output from those layers, which is the input for the next layers, is also constantly shifting around. It's like trying to learn how to surf, but the wave underneath you keeps changing shape. It's chaos. And this quote just nails it. The deeper layers inside the network are in this constant state of confusion. They're trying to adapt to a target that just will not stay still. And as you can imagine, this slows down training a lot and makes the whole process incredibly unstable. So how do we fix this internal mess? Well, this is where the hero of our story comes in. A really elegant and powerful technique called batch normalization, or batch norm for short. Batch norm is just brilliant in its simplicity. It inserts a special layer that acts like a little gatekeeper between the main layers of your network. And before it passes any data along, it just stops and says, whoa, hold on, let's just recenter and rescale everything first. This makes sure every single layer gets data that's stable and predictable. So how's it work? It's basically a simple three-step recipe. First, for whatever little batch of data it's looking at, it calculates the mean and the variance. Second, it uses those stats to normalize the data. But, and this is the really clever part, step 3, it introduces two new parameters the network can learn, called gamma and beta. These let the network scale and shift the data however it wants. It gives the network the freedom to find the best possible distribution for the next layer, not just forcing it into one rigid shape. And this entire cycle, computing the stats, normalizing, and then transforming, it happens dynamically for every single little mini batch of data that flows through the network. It's like this continuous stabilizing force that's always working inside the model while it trains. So what's the reward for all this clever engineering? Well, the payoff for getting this internal stability is massive. It completely changes how we can train our models. First off, the network learns much, much faster. Second, we can use way higher learning rates. We can basically put the pedal to the metal on training without worrying that the model's going to just blow up. And finally, it brings this incredible stability, which lets us build much deeper and more complex networks than we ever could before. But that is not all. It turns out batch norm has one more little trick up its sleeve, a very welcome and kind of unexpected side effect. So, because batch norm is only looking at these small mini batches, the stats it calculates have a tiny bit of noise in them. They're not perfect. And this slight imperfection is actually a good thing. It acts as a form of regularization, which is a fancy term for a technique that stops the model from just memorizing the training data. This little bit of noise helps the model generalize better, so it performs way more effectively on new data it's never seen before. It's like a free bonus that makes your whole model more robust. And here it is. This is the proof. Just look at this graph. On top, you've got that jagged, chaotic line. That's a network training without batch norm. You can see it's struggling. It's all over the place. Now look below it. That smooth, confident red line is the exact same network, but with batch norm. It converges quickly, smoothly, and it gets to a much better result. I mean, this picture says it all, doesn't it? So let's just do a quick recap of our journey. We started by cleaning up our messy inputs with basic normalization. Then we uncovered that hidden, tricky problem of internal covariate shift. Batch normalization came in as the elegant solution, which led to faster, more stable models that are also more robust. We went from external chaos to internal stability. And that leaves us with a final, really fascinating question. The discovery of this problem and the invention of batch norm completely changed how we train deep neural networks. It really makes you wonder, if solving this one hidden instability problem had this much of an impact, what other fundamental challenges are still lurking deep inside our AI models, just waiting for someone to discover and solve them?